My name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani. Keshwani. We are here because we want to improve our vocabulary. Today is our vocabulary lesson number 71. Let's begin. The first couple of words that I have that I want to cover, that I want to talk about, they are very straightforward, very simple words, but you will see in a second why we're making a big fuss about them. The very first word is parenthesis. Of course, we know what parenthesis is. The question is, what's the plural of it? What's the plural of parenthesis? The plural of parenthesis is parentheses. It's the same, pretty much the word, except the last three letters, you end up having SES. It's the same exact word, but the last three letters would be SES, and the pronunciation will change to parentheses. Instead of SIS, it will be SES. The plural becomes parentheses. Similarly, hypothesis is very straightforward. Hypothesis. Again, the plural would be SES, and it will be hypotheses. And the reason we are making a big fuss about it is because this is the plural, is because many a times I've heard people mispronounce the word. Parenthesis and parentheses. Hypothesis and hypotheses. And so on and so forth. Let's do one more. Which is not quite related to these two words, but we'll see where we go with it. So that was it. There's nothing, no big deal here. Of course, the words are very simple. It's not the word. It is the pronunciation of the plural form that we're worried about. So it will be the same spelling as before, same spelling as before, except the last three letters would be, instead of SIS, they become SES. The next word we want to learn is this word. Premise. It's a noun. What's a premise? A premise is an idea, a notion, a theory. A premise is an idea, a notion, a theory, a proposition upon which an argument is based, or from which a conclusion is drawn. A notion or idea or proposition on which your argument is based, or from which you draw a conclusion, and that is called a premise. So if someone tells you that your whole premise is wrong, what they're telling you is that what you're assuming to start out with, your assumption that you start out with, that assumption itself is wrong. So you can't draw this conclusion here. Your conclusion obviously wouldn't make any sense, because your starting point, what you're assuming, your premise is wrong. Your premise is wrong. The idea, the notion, the theory, the proposition that you begin with is not correct. So of course you can't. The conclusion that you're going to draw is going to be wrong. It's called a premise. The plural of this word. Okay, let's see carefully. This is where the things get tricky. The plural of this word, of course, would be premises, which is typically used in the legal jargon. But here's the but part. But the word premises, the word premises also has one more meaning. It has a second meaning, and depending on the context, we have to figure out which meaning that we're dealing with here. Let's first and what is a premises? You see, it will be a premises, even though it has s here. What is a premises? A premises is a piece of land, or if you like, instead of saying piece of land, you can say a tract of land. a tract of land, which means a piece of land, and everything that is built with a T, everything that is built upon it, premises. So here you would say premises is a piece of property, piece of land, a tract of land, and everything that you see on it. So if someone tells you, if I ever see you on my premises again, I will have you arrested. What they're saying is that, don't come on my property. I don't want to see you on my property. If you show up on these premises, I will have you arrested. Do you understand? Well, I just said if I see you on these premises. I'm not sure whether it's singular or plural. Let's put a question mark next to it here. It just I'll have to check on it. That's the idea here. We're learning. Do you understand? And if you watch my very first video, I told you that in the very first day that there are going to be many occasions where we will make boo-boos. I'll have to check on it. They would say if you come on these premises. I've never heard people say if you come on this premises. I'm not sure. I have to find out whether it's singular or plural in this form. We'll have to figure it out. I'll have to find out and tell you. But anyway, the premises means a piece of land. And everything that you see on it. So don't come on these premises. Let's move on then. The next word we want to learn is a very straightforward word, very simple word, and the word is suffice. It's a word. And what does it mean to suffice? Suffice means exactly what it says. Suffice means exactly what it tells us. It means to be sufficient, to be adequate, to be enough, to be enough. If someone tells you, well, 2 cubes of sugar would suffice, that we're telling you is that 2 cubes of sugar is all I need. That should be enough for me. That's plenty for me. Do you understand? Yes, thank you. 2 should suffice. Do you understand? Would you like 2 cubes or 3? 2 should suffice. 2 will be enough. Do you understand? Suffice it to say that, let's put a sentence here. Suffice it to say that their financial situation was not quite as sound as they feigned. This particular corporation, this particular company, they put out these statements and they pretended that they were very sound and they were very, well, we use this word sound, which means to be, in this context it will mean to be very firm and very healthy. They pretended to be in a very sound state, and they put out these statements, these financial statements. Suffice it to say that they were not quite as sound as they feigned, as they feigned, because now we know that it was all fraud. Everything is all out because the CEO has just been arrested. They were putting out fake statements. Do you understand? So suffice to say that they were not, it is sufficient, it's enough to say, it suffices to say that their financial condition, their financial state was not quite as sound as they feigned. What does it mean to feign? To feign. Very simple pronunciation, feign. To feign. What does it mean? To feign. To feign means to pretend. It means to give false impression of something. To give false appearance of something. If you're feigning, you're giving a false impression of something, you're giving a false appearance of something. Do you understand? Go ask Michael Go ask Michael in the other room if he has seen the book. But Michael is sleeping. Oh, he's not sleeping, he's feigning. He's feigning, he's pretending to be sleeping. He's not really sleeping, he's just joking. He's just pretending. Do you understand? He's just feigning. He's just feigning to be asleep. He's just feigning. He's just pretending to be asleep. But he's not really asleep. Let's keep on going. The next word we want to learn is unwittingly. Of course, if you've been watching these videos for some time, you know by now that it doesn't matter how simple the word might be, it doesn't matter how simple the pronunciation might be, we always make a point of writing the pronunciation. This is an adverb. Unwittingly. What does it mean to do something unwittingly? You see, to do something unwittingly. Since you're describing an action, therefore it's an adverb. You're describing a verb. Something that describes a verb is called an adverb. To do something unwittingly means to do something. To do something unwittingly means to do something without. To do something without being aware of. To do something without being aware of. To do something without being cognizant. We learned the word cognizant on day number 42. What does it mean to be cognizant? Cognizant means to be aware of something, to have a knowledge of something. Cognizant, word cognizant comes from the word cognition, which means knowledge. So to do something, if you're not cognizant, that means you're not aware of it, you don't have a knowledge of it. Why the hell did you tell him? Didn't I tell you not to tell him? Well, I didn't mean to tell him. I told him unwittingly. It just slipped out. I didn't mean to tell him that you were going on vacation. It just slipped out. I did it unwittingly. I told him inadvertently, not on purpose. Unwittingly means to do something without being aware of, without being conscious of, without being cognizant of it. To do something unintentionally. To do something unwittingly means to do something. To do something unwittingly means to do something unintentionally, without intention. You didn't mean to do it. It means to do something not on purpose. Why did you break his toy? Well, I didn't mean to break it. I broke it unwittingly. Do you understand? To do something inadvertently. To do something inadvertently. Some time ago, a little while ago, there was a questioning going on. They were questioning this particular bureaucrat as to why they were doing some things that they shouldn't have been doing. They were spying on some citizen and so forth, and he was being questioned by these politicians. And his answer was, they were asking him, did you guys actually do it? And his answer was, as always, they like to cover their derriere. And his answer was, well, if we did do it, it was done unwittingly. If we did do it, we did not do it on purpose. We did it unwittingly. You understand? Unintentionally. We didn't mean to. We did it unintentionally. You understand? We just happened to sit outside his house and with a van, with a microphone and so forth, and tap his telephone and so forth. All of that was done unwittingly. Do you understand? We didn't mean to do that. Let's go on then. Next one. The next word is related to word unwittingly, and the word is Let's say you. Unbeknownst. Unbeknownst. You see, it has a word known in it. Unbeknownst. Unbeknownst. What does unbeknownst mean? Unbeknownst means exactly what it says again. Without being known. Without being known. Without the knowledge. Again, it's an adverb. Without the knowledge of. That knowledge is very horrible. Without the knowledge of. Without the awareness of. Without the awareness of. Unbeknownst. Unbeknownst to her, unbeknownst to his wife, unbeknownst to her wife, without her wife's knowledge, unbeknownst to his wife, he has been going to this club, certain particular kind of club, for a long time. For years he's been going to this club, unbeknownst to his wife. She doesn't know it. Without her knowledge, without her awareness. He's been going to this particular club for years, unbeknownst to his wife. You understand? Unbeknownst to his father, he has been smoking cigarette for some years now. His father doesn't know it. Unbeknownst to him. Unbeknownst to him. There's one more word, last word for today, and the word is, maybe we can squeeze it here. Moribund. What does moribund mean? The word moribund, of course, is related to the word morbid, and both of these words actually come from the French word, or Latin word if you like, mort, M-O-R-T, which means to die. Moribund means oh, for Christ's sake, almost dead. Not quite dead, not completely dead, but almost dead, on the verge of dying. On the verge of dying. About to die. Oh, that particular corporation, are you kidding me? That corporation, I'm not going to put my money into it. That corporation is moribund. That corporation is dying. They have nothing left in them. They're about to file bankruptcy. They're about to go out of business. That corporation is moribund, is almost dead, is on the verge of dying. Now, the way I use this word all the time, if you might have heard me use this word in the past many times, is when I'm writing on the blackboard and the marker begins to die, the marker no longer has any ink in it, and I need to change the marker. I have to walk up there and get another marker. I say to you that this marker is moribund. I need another one. This marker is almost dead. There is no ink left in it. It's moribund. It's almost dead. It is on the verge of dying. It's not dead yet. It doesn't mean to be completely dead, but almost dead. A business can be moribund. Institution can be moribund. Anything you can describe as moribund, as in almost dying. Do you understand? That's all. That's all we had. That's all we have for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye now.